Hey guys, Doc. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about seeding. I'm going to talk about seeding new lawns, and I'm also going to talk about overseeding. I'm going to give you a few tips, and we're going to talk about 5 different grasses or lawns that projects we're going to do on this property, things that I have to seed on the new property. We'll talk a little bit about some of the lawns I've done in the past, including the zoysia lawn, which was from dirt. We did it from seed down at the beach house. I did my daughter's backyard, but some of the things over the years that I've learned, little tricks, and we're really going to talk about, everyone says don't seed in the spring. And while that rule is true, you can still do it. So hold on. Hey guys, in a minute, I'm going to ride you around the farm property. It's just a waste of time. Don't watch it. No, I'm going to show you some of the different areas that we're having to seed. We have a bunch of agricultural fields up here, plus we have nice looking fields and lawns that we're doing, but I'm going to do them in different seeds. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. If you don't have the lawn guides, by the way, the lawn guides are free. We don't ask for your information. We don't want it. There's 3 websites. They're independent websites we built for you guys. There's the Bermuda Lawn Guide, there's the Zoysia Lawn Guide, and then the Cool Season Lawn Guide. If you go to freelawncareguide.com, that's the Cool Season one. And at the top, there's links to the Bermuda Lawn Guide and the Zoysia Lawn Guide. So use them. Hey guys, figure I'd step out to the pond for a minute and make an extremely important point. I have talked about the mistake that people make, and that is that they go to Lowe's or Home Depot and they buy a big bag of Bermuda seed for 20 bucks and they throw it out on a sod lawn because their sod lawn doesn't look good. Maybe it's a 10-year-old house and they think that that'll help. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. There's a big difference between different varieties of Bermuda seeds, and especially common Bermuda versus a hybrid Bermuda. Now, a hybrid Bermuda is what is used in sod. There is no seed, so you cannot buy the same seed. If you had sod put down, even if it was 10, 15 years ago, you can't go out and buy that seed because it's not grown that way. Common Bermuda, typically, that's what you're going to see in the big box stores. It's a much bigger, heavier grass, and it's going to look a lot different than your sod. I can't tell you how many lawns I have taken from total crap, just weed infested, all kinds of stuff. Go back and look at some of the old videos where we've taken some of these nasty lawns that were sod and we've brought them back to life through the regular program, following the guide, just doing the right things, and brought it back to a golf course quality lawn. If you have to seed, I don't know if you have a repair, whatever it is, there are varieties of seed nowadays. Seed technology has come a long way. They do make some seeds that replicate that hybrid, but you're talking about an expensive seed. You're talking about a seed that'll run you probably $15 to $40 a pound. So it's not a 10-pound bag for 20 bucks. That's not what that's. If you go to the big box or go online, you're typically going to find common Bermuda seed. There's all kinds of seeds out there, seed varieties that will replicate your sod, but still it's not going to be exact. So if you have a really bad lawn, and it was sodded at one point, I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times I've brought this back up, that you can take that nasty lawn and bring it up. Just follow the plan and it'll come out beautiful. So just be real careful on that. So let's talk about seeding real quick. First, let's talk about overseeding, because that's actually pretty easy. A lot of people say if you have a cool season grass, you overseed in the fall, which is the rule of thumb. You overseed in the fall, because then you don't go into that stress period of all that heat and there isn't time for root development. You end up losing a lot of grass. However, I have done many seedings or overseedings of cool season grasses in the springtime. As long as I have irrigation available, they work out fairly well. Even if I lose 50% of the seed that I'm putting out, I'm still going to have a nice green lawn. So I just don't worry about it. So yes, you can overseed in the spring, and you can start new lawns in the spring. I mean, are you going to sit there with dirt all year round, until the fall comes up? No, you're going to seed. So don't worry about it. If you need to overseed, overseed. If you need to start a new lawn, start a new lawn. There's a couple of rules when it comes to seeding. Let me tell you my rules. And this really applies to overseeding, but also possibly new lawns as well too. Number 1, before you seed, I want you to cut your grass, your existing grass, very low. very low. Why is that? Because seeds only have so much energy. They only have so much energy to break through the soil and then to reach up to the light. So if that grass is tall, it's going to really struggle and not do well. Number two, cut it often. So if I'm gonna overseed this, I'm gonna come out here, and this is not an exaggeration, every 48 hours, and I'm gonna cut this low, and keep it low, and keep it low, so that that new seed, when it germinates, can easily hit the sunlight. That's the key element right there. Rule number three is water, water, water. When you install new sod, there's a special routine that you go through, and they'll put you on a schedule if it's a good sod company, where they'll give you a schedule and they'll say, okay, for the first week, you're going to water 3 times a day, short waterings, 1, 2, and 3. Why is that? You're not trying to soak your sod. You just don't want the sod to dry out. It's the same thing with the seed. Seed that dries out does not germinate. So you want to keep that seed moist. And I'm telling you, if I could come out on a new seeding project and water it lightly every 2 hours, I would do it. Just a miss, keep it light, keep it wet, keep it wet, keep it wet. Not soggy, just keep it wet, keep it wet. That's why I say one of my favorite times to seed when it comes to new seed is right at dusk. And why is that? Because I don't have any sunlight, I have very little evaporation, and that seed is going to stay wet for what, 14 hours overnight. So I strongly recommend, if you're putting out new seed, that at sunset that you do a light watering just to get the seed wet, and it'll stay wet all overnight. Let's talk about fertilizer. You don't need to do anything special, guys. I really, really want you to get a soil test. Now, in the description below, I'm going to link to the fertilizers I talked about. I'll even link to some of the seed that I've used, but I'll also link to the soil test that's online. It's a really good soil test. You can get a soil test done and have the results back this time of year, 7-10 days, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 days. Get a soil test done. The fertilizer that you should put out should match your soil test, but if you haven't had a soil test done, then you can come out with a mild coat of PGF Balance, which is a 10-10-10. That'll work fine. Just put that out. That's all you got to do. If you're high in phosphorus, come out with some light coat of PGF Complete 1608. Put that out. Light coat, that's all it needs. New seed doesn't need a whole bunch of nutrients, by the way. Once it starts to get established, then you want to feed it, but it doesn't need a whole bunch. Now let's talk about weed killing. Should I kill my weeds before I seed? Yes. However, here's your warning. If you have broadleaf weeds, now I have broadleaf weeds in this lawn and I'm going to do a seeding. So I have to read my label and it'll tell me how long before I can seed. So, and that's going to be important because like if you have a product like Roundup, the reason why Roundup long term is effective is because it's glyphosate and it's diquat. And diquat is a long term, like 3 to 6 month killing product. So you don't want to put anything with diquat out, I'll tell you right now. You want to put out a general, like a 2,4-diamine kind of thing, just to kill off your weeds, whatever you got. Just do a light spray. Typically that stuff will go away in, 2 to 4 weeks. I forget what the label says, and then you can reseed. But you just have to understand that stuff needs to be worked out, eaten by the soil microbes, or however it works out before you start to seed. Now let's talk about seeding from dirt. I've done lots of lawns from dirt. The Beach House project, we brought in 3 truckloads of this black kind of sandy topsoil. We put it all over the yard, and I used Zenith zoysia seed, and I seeded. Now when I seed, I have a special trick, and that is I do 3 depths. I get a scarifier. I put out around a seed, light seed. I scarify it deep at about 3/4 of an inch. Then I come out, I put another round of seed, and then I'll rake it. Then I come out with another light round of seed, put it on top, and just barely just light rake it. That's kind of excessive, but what I like to do is I like to have seed a little bit deeper, less deeper, and less deeper. Because if you get some heavy rains and washouts, that deeper seed will kick in. The other thing I want you to do is I want you to be prepared. So you put out all this seed, you have a huge thunderstorm come by, be prepared to go out and re-rake that. And if you need to, have some backup seed where you can go out and reseed. Now, one of the reasons why I had the most beautiful zoysia lawn down at the Beach House, and I did it in less than 1 season, within 6 months. Everyone that went by that place, all my neighbors are like, dude, what did you do here? In one season, I had the most gorgeous Xena from seed, because that's what I did. I did that multi-stage little seeding. I have irrigation, and I kept it wet, kept it wet, kept it wet. It germinated, and then I put out, I think I put out down there, I put out Humichar, and I put out PGF Complete 1608 because it was high on phosphorus. It's absolutely gorgeous down there. Same thing, my daughter's backyard I did, that's growing well. This was raw dirt. We put down Humichar, Dirt Booster, and we had to come back with 2 or 3 seeding attempts before this took. So those are my tips. Now I'm gonna run out, I'm gonna show you the different areas. This is our primary yard. We're gonna call it the backyard. This is for the girls. This is where they're gonna come out, pee and poo. This is a temporary ryegrass lawn, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out in a few weeks and I'm gonna spray it, kill off the weeds. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come out and cut it short, and I'm gonna put fescue. Once that fescue starts to take, I'm just gonna leave it alone. When temperatures bump up to the 80s, I'm gonna come out here with some zoysia seed, and I'm gonna hit it with zoysia seed, and I'm gonna let the fescue and the zoysia battle it out. They look kind of similar, but I've got shade issues, so we're gonna see which one takes. Now let me show you area number 2. Okay, so this is area number 2. When we bought this property, this was nasty. There were probably 40 big cedar trees in here. It was just full of trash, full of crap. And I came in here with a skid steer with teeth on it after we cut out the trees, and I raked this and raked this and raked this for almost 5 hours straight and got it down to soil. Now we've been hitting it with a little bit of fescue, but mainly we came back with some winter rye, and look at it. What I'm doing is I'm having John take care of this yard back here with his zero turn. He comes and cuts this and weed eats this about every 10 days or so. And it just looks so gorgeous out here. You get from the windows up here, you have this beautiful green field up to the barn. So this is area number 2. This is that backfield. Let me step out front and show you where we're gonna put another one. Okay, so this is the new front of the house, and that big sunroom faces the pond. So let me show you this, yard number 2. So this is what I'm gonna consider yard number 3. We have this big area all in here. It's probably about 6,000 square feet where the gravel driveway ends, and then it runs down to the pond. Same thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a skid steer with teeth, and I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna rake all this level. I'm gonna punch down a whole bunch of Humichar. I'm gonna put down some Dirt Booster. I'm gonna put down some PGF. I don't know what I'm gonna put down. I'll put down a fertilizer down here. And then I'm gonna plant this in right now in fescue, and then maybe even come out and throw down something like a zoysia or Bermuda, because this is going to get pounded in the summertime, and I really don't have a good way to water this right now. I could pump from the pond, but we're using the pond irrigation to actually water the fields. So this whole area right in here, from way over here all the way through here, this is all going to be some type of grass. And then we're going to put a gravel little walkway down to the dock with a circle and a fire pit down there. We thought that would be really cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you yard number 4 that I consider. Now this is going to sound weird, but we've got a really big grass area that's about 20-30 feet wide, and it runs all along the front of our property on the road. It's that road edge, and it's almost 1/4 of a mile from gate to gate, so it's really long. And I have a guy, local guy, that comes and cuts that for me. And why is that? It's because it's really dangerous. Cars come around this corner really fast, and I need to have someone that's got signage that says mower ahead and put out cones. It's a good way to get killed out there. So I don't want John out there with his zero turn. So this guy does it for me. I have him come by twice a month and cut it, but guess what I'm gonna do? So I'm gonna seed that with Bermuda, because it doesn't get any water, it get pounded by the sunshine, and I think the Bermuda will just be real aggressive out there and take over. So I'm gonna put Bermuda out there. In case you're wondering, this little grassy road didn't exist. I had no way from the upper field to get over to the driveway, so I cut this in when I had my skid steer. This is my roadway out front. Now this goes, gosh, it's almost a quarter of a mile. So we've got this big thing, and I've got a guy that comes out here and cuts this because it's real dangerous. We don't want John out here doing it. He actually puts up signs and comes and cuts this. So I didn't think about this, but I guess you could consider this my 5th lawn. This is the pond berm, and I did a video where we removed almost 100 trees from this pond berm, about yay big around, big massive trees, because pond berms cannot have trees on them. The tree roots destroy pond berms. So we had to have all those trees taken off here, and I just put down some winter rye. I don't know what I'm going to plant here. I really don't. Maybe I'll do some type of fescue, maybe I'll do some type of perennial rye, but I definitely am going to put some clover into here. And what I'll probably do is I'll do some patches of maybe some wildflowers. So have some real cool wildflowers around the edge. Let me show you the trees we just planted over here too. So I don't know. We got a lot of hawks around here. Hawks, owls. I have blue herons, and we've got a couple of mallards coming in here every day now. We planted these. I'll show you a close-up in a minute. But these are a rose of Sharon. It's kind of like looks kind of like a hibiscus. Now these will be red. And we planted them on the back side of the pond berm. Now these root zones don't get real deep. The trees don't get real big, but man, it'll just look gorgeous. When these get up to about 10 feet tall and all those red flowers are on there all along here, that's going to be gorgeous. And then, like I said, we'll probably do some pods of some wildflowers along the bank here. We'll take some dirt, put some pod down in here. It's going to be really cool. So those are all my yard projects out here at the farm property. We got a bunch of them coming up. It should be kind of fun because we get to do all kinds of experimentation, not just on the grasses, but also up in the fields and the vegetable gardens. We've got just a whole bunch of stuff. Come here, Fat Dog. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through this season. We'll take you through the old house, the Bermuda lawn. We'll walk you through all these new lawns because we've got cool season, we've got warm season. We'll take you down to the beach house. We'll show you that zoysia lawn. We'll do treatments down there, whole bunch of stuff. And Fat Dog, you're looking skinny. You need to go eat. We're gonna go get something to eat. Dog.